VideoScript 5 legit online businesses you can run during nap time. The coffee had gone cold again. Another morning balancing the noise of the house and the quiet question she kept avoiding. Can I really build something of my own? She wasn't chasing millions, just freedom. The kind that fits between nap times and school pickups. The kind that doesn't require explaining herself to anyone. But every time she opened her laptop, the cursor just blinked back at her. Waiting. Judging, almost. Part of her still felt guilty for wanting more, as if ambition had to disappear when motherhood began, as if choosing herself meant choosing against them. She'd scroll through success stories and think, they had help, they had time, they had something I don't. Maybe success just wasn't meant for someone like her, but the idea didn't come from a business book. It came from the mess on her kitchen table, the half-finished projects, the things she'd been doing for free, for friends, for years. What if the answer wasn't out there? What if it was already here? She started small, so small it felt almost silly. But small meant she could start today. Small meant she didn't need permission. The first path she discovered was something she'd been doing without realizing it had value. Virtual assistants. Not the corporate kind, the human kind. She thought about all the overwhelmed business owners she knew. People drowning in emails, scheduling chaos, customer messages piling up like laundry. They didn't need an employee. They needed 2 hours of organized help. She could do that during nap time. According to recent studies, the virtual assistant industry is projected to grow by over 30% in the next few years, with rates ranging from $20 to $60 per hour, depending on specialization. Proof that clarity often beats capital. She created a simple profile, listed what she could actually do: inbox management, calendar coordination, basic social media posting, real skills, quiet skills. The first client came from a Facebook group. 15 hours a month, $300. It wasn't life-changing, but it was hers. She smiled, not because it was easy, but because it was finally hers. Then came the doubt, the kind that whispers louder than failure. What if you can't keep up? What if they expect more than you can give? But she kept going, because stopping felt worse than stumbling. The second opportunity emerged from something even more personal: digital products, specifically things she'd already created for herself. She'd made a meal planning template months ago, color-coded, simple, actually useful. Her sister asked for a copy, then a friend of a friend. What would you have done in her place? She uploaded it to Etsy, designed a simple cover in Canva, priced it at $7, posted it late one night after the kids were asleep, half convinced no one would care. The first sale came 3 days later, then another, then 5 in 1 week. Digital products don't require inventory, shipping, or customer service calls at inconvenient times. Once created, they sell while you sleep, while you parent, while you live. Her workspace was still her kitchen counter, but it no longer felt like chaos, it felt like possibility. She started creating more: budget trackers, cleaning schedules, printable planners. Small solutions to common problems. Nothing revolutionary, just helpful. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress. It looks like staying. Staying consistent when the numbers are small. Staying creative when the rejections come. Staying curious when the path isn't clear. By month 3, she was making an extra $400 monthly from templates she'd created during stolen moments. The third business idea surprised her most: freelance writing. Not novels or poetry. Service writing. Blog posts for small businesses. Email sequences for coaches. Product descriptions for online stores. Words that worked, not words that dazzled. She'd always been told she was good with words, but never thought it was marketable. Turned out, businesses everywhere needed someone who could translate their expertise into clear human language. She almost gave up when the first pitch got ignored, and the second, and the fifth, until one message changed everything. We'd love to work with you. When can you start? Freelance writing platforms like Contently and specialized job boards reported that experienced freelance writers earn between $50 and $200 per article, with ongoing client relationships providing stable monthly income. She didn't have a fancy portfolio. Just 3 sample pieces she'd written for free to prove she could deliver. That's all it took. What helped her most wasn't just confidence. It was realizing she didn't need to be the best writer in the world. She just needed to be reliable, clear, and on time. 3 things she'd been practicing for years without knowing they were entrepreneurial skills. The 4th path opened through something she loved, but had stopped making time for. Teaching online. Not in a classroom, not with certifications or credentials. Just sharing what she actually knew. She knew how to organize a home on a budget, how to meal prep for picky eaters, how to create systems that didn't fall apart the moment life got messy. So she recorded a simple course, filmed it on her phone, edited it during nap times over 2 weeks, hosted it on a basic platform, priced it at $27, expected nothing. 12 people bought it the first month. That was $324 for something she'd created once. The online course industry continues to expand rapidly, with micro-courses and niche skill sharing, becoming especially popular among parents seeking flexible knowledge from relatable teachers rather than distant experts. She wasn't an influencer. She didn't have thousands of followers. She just had 1 skill and 12 people who needed it. That was enough. Then came the doubt again, stronger this time. Who are you to teach anyone anything? You're just figuring this out yourself. But maybe that was exactly why it worked, because she wasn't pretending to have all the answers. She was just a few steps ahead, turning around to offer a hand. She breathed, paused, remembered why she started. The 5th business surprised her because it came from saying yes to something uncomfortable. Social media management for local businesses. Small businesses, the flower shop downtown, the family-owned restaurant, the independent bookstore struggling to stay visible online. They didn't need viral strategies. They needed consistent presence, 3 posts a week, responding to comments, showing up. She could do that in 20 minutes a day. She pitched 5 local businesses. 2 said yes, $200 per month each, $400 total for work that fit into the margins of her life. What would you have done in her place? She wasn't creating content for global brands. She was helping her community stay connected. It felt good in a way the money couldn't fully explain. Small business social media management is growing as an accessible entry point, with many managers charging between $300 and $1,500 monthly per client, depending on scope and platform coverage. Her kitchen counter workspace now had a rhythm. Mornings for client emails, nap times for deep work, evenings for creating, weekends for rest, actual rest. None of it was perfect. Some weeks she barely kept up. Some months a client left. Some days she still wondered if she was doing enough. But she was doing something, and something beats nothing every single time. What helped me most wasn't just the tools I found along the way. It was realizing I didn't need permission to start small. I tested different approaches before finding what truly worked, and honestly, it changed everything. This isn't a promotion, just something that made my path a little lighter. For anyone wanting to explore these business models further, I'll leave some helpful resources below. Platforms like Canva for design work, simple course hosting sites, and communities for freelancers. Nothing expensive, just useful. The transformation wasn't instant. It was quiet, gradual, built on dozens of tiny decisions that felt insignificant at the time, saying yes when doubt said no, starting before she felt ready, charging what her time was worth, even when it felt uncomfortable, treating her work like it mattered even when no one was watching. When she poured her coffee the next morning, it was still hot. Because this time, she wasn't rushing. She was building. Not an empire, not a brand, just a life that had space for both her children and her dreams, both her presence and her ambition, both who she was and who she was becoming. This is educational and inspirational content, not financial advice. Every business journey is different. Every timeline is personal. Every version of success is valid. Tell us what part of her story resonated with you most and where you're watching from. Your journey might just inspire the next one. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.